1.
You've got to knock a high percentage of those sort of shots in at this level, because so often they give you the initial chance. It's extremely important in this second session of 4 that Hendry doesn't fall further behind.
Five.
O'Sullivan started
10
with a break of 115 yesterday. 4 times went the odd frame in front and eventually got 2 in front. By
11.
winning their last frame of the day with a break of 99.
I'm sure Stephen there played upon the blue so he could cannon into the bunch. He didn't find the angle, but he's played a good
16.
positional shot there. He's just got to judge as this cue ball runs into other reds. He's got the red into the right corner. And as he pots it, he will be releasing a few more reds. And he couldn't have played that better. That was an excellent shot.
24. $25. $32. 33.
Well, you can always tell with a player if he gets down pretty quick, he's happy with the potting angle. He looks a little bit straight, but probably straight is okay. Swinging back for a choice of reds. One in the left centre, this one in the right
40.
corner. It's quite amazing, really, when Stephen came to the table. I thought it was his turn to break off. Referee Aaron Williams said, no, it's Ronnie's break. So Ronnie came to the table, because I don't think he was sure. He broke off. Stephen knocked in a tremendous long red, and this is the result. Talk about toss of a coin.
Well, Hendry hasn't won this frame yet, but he certainly got a chance to do so.
$48.
With the cluster open, Hendry will be very disappointed if he doesn't clinch the frame at this visit.
56.
He did make a couple of unexpected errors yesterday when he seemed to be heading for a frame-winning contribution. Although, strangely enough, he ended up winning both those frames.
The black, one more red and a colour is what's required. He's probably a little bit thinner on this black than he would have liked. But in it goes. Nicely on the next red.
64.
Tough school, this. OSullivan just broke off.
65.
Looks as though it's going to be his only shot in the frame.
Knowledgeable applause
71.
for that simple pink.
72.
It was the ball that guaranteed Hendry the frame, barring snookers.
$79. $80. $86. 87.
A long red to start with, and then slide rule precision.
$92. 93. 99. $105. 107.
Well, this has just been a tremendous start from Stephen. I remember you saying yesterday, Clive, you didn't think Stephen would really be happy until he won a frame at one visit. Well, you don't come any better than this.
110.
From the break-off, never gave his opponent a chance. Superb start to the morning.
114. 119. 125 on the frame.
OSullivan broke off, but the next 35 shots were Hendry's. His break of 125 halves his overnight deficit, but he still trails by 5 frames to 4.
Yes, pretty decisive new beginning from Hendry, wasn't it? Well, they share the next 2 frames, so we will head into frame 12 now. It's OSullivan to play, no scoring yet.
One.
Listen, Ronnie's reaction when he missed the red, he wasn't happy at all. Probably a little bit frustrated he lost the last frame. Been some great matchups in snooker, hasn't there, Clive? You can think of Reardon, Higgins.
7.
Here's Ronnie's reaction. You got Reardon, Higgins,
8.
then you had Steve Davis, Higgins, and then Steve Davis, Jimmy White. But this one is a bit of a matchup to compare with any of those, I think. Hendry, OSullivan.
Yes, there's a touch of
13.
the old king versus the new king about it. But at the moment, Hendry is playing like the king of the 90s he was.
$20. $21.
Hendry hasn't been all that successful on the circuit this season. He's won only one title, the European Open. But in a sense, he's always regarded all the other tournaments as preparation for this
26.
one, the climax of the season.
27.
The one which counts more than all the others put together in terms of status and standing in the history of the game.
Well, for one moment I didn't think he was going to be on a red. Didn't hit the pink foe as he intended. Cue ball looked as though it could go in off in the corner. Just watch the cue ball. I thought for 1 minute may going off, slid round the jaws, and a red appeared from nowhere. Just having a little run at the moment, Stephen. Best of 33 though. It should even itself out, and when you get the run of the balls, take advantage while you can.
$33. Too far for the simple pink that he was intending to leave, though. Wanted to be straighter.
$39.
Still not all that difficult, though, the way he's playing.
$40. $46. $47. $53.
I'm sure when Stephen started this morning, 5-3 behind, the first thing he wanted to do
54.
was level the frame scores in this match. He's got every chance to do that now. This is the last frame before the mid-session interval. So Ronnie, there's just still a bit of sleep
60.
in his eyes. He's looked in good form. It's just the frame winning
61.
chances seem to have just fallen to Stephen rather than him. He's nothing to panic about, apart from the fact that Stephen Hendry is in as good a form as I've seen him
67.
for many a long year. He really is. And of course, he's up
68.
for this, as Ronnie is. And it's just like two people saying, well, look, I can do this, and the other one saying, I can do this. And it's just a great matchup, this. Probably the greatest player
74.
that's ever played against the most naturally gifted player that's ever played. Who do you fancy?
75.
The frame was long since won when Hendry developed that red into a potable position.
82.
He really is going well. And above all, he's shown O'Sullivan that in no way
88.
is he afraid of him.
89.
By his choice of shot, by his attitude, Hendry is carrying the fight to the defending champion all the time.
95.
Well, Clive, I'm certain you'll tell us how many centuries rates this is, but he certainly loves the centuries, does Stephen. Go in. Well played. Superb stuff. It really is.
102. 104.
Century number 568.
$107.
At his first visit to the table this morning, Hendry made a break of 125.
111.
This is his last visit before the mid-session interval.
116.
And it's produced another superb century.
122.
And with that break of 122, Stephen Hendry levels at 6-all at the mid-session interval.
And it was in that manner that Hendry played the next few frames of this session, completely turning this semi-final on its head to lead by 8 frames to 7. Now into the last of the session, and it's Hendry at the table.
Eight. Nine.
You can feel the tension
16.
in the crucible. As soon as the player gets down to play
17.
the shot, there's a hush descends, and then they pot it, and he starts coughing, and you can hear the little chuntering. This is a match, though, that's caught everyone's
22.
imagination.
23.
And a little bit further than he would like, but Shouldn't be a problem. Stun the black, cannon a red to hold at this end. Well, didn't even have to do that. And has found a gap for a red in the
30.
right corner. Looks like a very good chance this now.
31. $38.
It's starting to look as if OSullivan will be 2 frames behind.
39.
Going into this evening's penultimate session.
$46.
Yes, and in simple terms, what it means that Stephen Hendry lost the first session 5-3, 8 frames in the first 3 sessions, 9 in the final one. He lost 5 of the first 8. But in this second session, he's going to win it by
54.
6 frames to 2.
55.
Which is a good performance against anyone, particularly the form that Ronnie O'Sullivan was in. In the last frame, Clive, you were questioning whether Ronnie was just beginning to crack slightly.
62.
Well, under the onslaught of breaks that Stevens made this morning, anyone would have been forgiven for
63.
thinking, well, when am I going to get a turn?
$68.
This red will clinch it. Now 69 points
69.
in front. With only 67 left on the table, pink to come, so I don't think Ronnie will be getting another chance this frame. But there's only 2 frames in it, with 2
75.
sessions to go. Another possible 17 frames to play.
76.
But Stephen has certainly stamped his authority on this one.
He develops another red.
83. $84. $91. 92. 97. 98.
So here comes Hendry's 3rd century of the session. And if Hendry was on the back foot for most of yesterday afternoon,
104.
he's been scoring all round the wicket this morning.
Yes, Clive, sensational stuff, and
110.
a challenge for Ronnie O'Sullivan. We've well documented
112.
what he said, what he was going to do to Stephen in this match. And Stephen's at the top of his game. So a challenge for the young pretender.
115.
Can he come back and cope with the 7 times world champion?
119. 124.
And with that break of 124, his 3rd century of the session. Stephen Hendry leads 9-7 going into the penultimate session this evening.
6 frames to 2, he won that session. 9-7 he leads. Steve, what did you glean about both Hendry's resolve and Ronnie's mood from that performance?
Well, Ronnie's mood, first of all, I think he's bearing up pretty well, considering that was a barrage of snooker we've just seen from Stephen. But he's more vulnerable than he was, obviously. You know, he's behind again. Stephen Hendry produced a magnificent performance. Ronnie O'Sullivan was a bit like an untamed stallion in a way, trying to break free all the time. But Stephen Hendry is one of the guys who can actually do that, and he's on his back at the moment, and he's trying to fight him and get him under control. One more session like that from Stephen Hendry may break him.
In a word, is Ronnie regretting his words, his actions earlier?
I don't know if Ronnie will regret what he said, but perhaps the friends around him would certainly say that. And he's got a problem in his hands in as far as what he's going to say afterwards if it all goes wrong for himself.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, Stephen Hendry. In the blue, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Round 3, the bell will go at 6:45 this evening, and we will have live coverage then. I do hope you'll join us for that, and later at 9 o'clock. It's
watch out if you got long black hair. You come from behind, you go out of your mind. You better not go, you never know what you'll find.
Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Hendry have been creating all the headlines at the Crucible Theatre, and the third session of their semi-final will be underway shortly. But firstly, let's update you on the state of the play in the other semi-final.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the players. And first, a young man recognised worldwide as being the best there's ever been. Honoured with the MBE and making his 10th World semi-final appearance, it's a privilege and a pleasure to welcome the 7 times Embassy World Champion, Stephen Hendry. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, the greatest natural talent the game has ever produced, and this charismatic young superstar holds the 2 biggest titles in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, the Crucible welcomes the reigning United Kingdom and reigning Embassy World Champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And your commentators for this evening's play are Willie Thorne and John Virgo.
Well, you join us here with an atmosphere, Willie, that, well, you only get when you get a match like this, don't you? And this is a match.
Well, in fairness, I mean, Hendry's had massive ovations every time he's appeared here, but one has to say that Ronnie had a bit of an ovation tonight. I think they know that this could be one of the best sessions of snooker they've ever seen in their lives, because at 9-7, it couldn't be more evenly poised for, I think, a classic match, which it has been so far.
Pretty good break-off shot from Ronnie. The first frame in the morning session. He didn't find the top cushion. Left a similar red to this, which Stephen knocked in. It's a bit tougher now. Well, it looks as though he can get past the black to cut this red into the left corner. Only a half chance, but that's all that Ronnie was getting this morning.
Switch it off, please.